Hello and welcome to my channel. This is the Las Vegas market update from myself, Rob Hau, and I'm all about houses and you here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And now you know how to buy or sell a property here because I'm going to let you know right now what I'd want to know if I was doing just that. Or if I was just curious and wanted to know the skinny on what was really happening and like leave out the hysterics, right? That's what I'd be looking for if it was me. Well, that's what I want to offer you. So let's dive into what exactly is going on. I'm going to give you numbers and I'm going to give you insights and inspiration as to what's going on in Las Vegas, Nevada and how this information can help you. So right now, we're going to dive right into the inventory. How much total inventory is on market? That's what we're going to dive into right away. My search returned 10,644 properties total on market. That means townhomes, condos, single-family residence, all residential properties on the MLS. Right now, we're seeing that number hold firm. If you look back at my other videos, you'll see this number peaked at about 10,700 properties and now has gone down just a touch and has remained there. It's, kind of moving back and forth around the 10,500 number. This is great because everything that you'll hear is that inventory is going crazy and, sellers are having the hardest time in the world, which isn't all that untrue. But I got a secret for you that'll help you a lot. It may not be all that secret, but I do have some seller help for you if you're a seller. So keep watching because I got more for you. But yes, 10,644 properties. What does that mean? Well, let's look back at 2017 real quick. 2017 had over 11,000 properties, well over 11,000 total properties on market, and it was not thought of as a bad year in real estate. Now, there was more buying going on back then, and ever since 2017, that was the peak of our inventory. If you go backward, ever since then, the inventory went down, so now we are approaching the peak again, but we're not getting quite there just yet, so that's good. This is very good for sellers to know because, well, it's not getting exponentially worse, And also, most of you sellers, many of the sellers, are not terribly desperate. You're not going crazy. And that's a little bit of part of the problem, though, is because you're not adjusting your price. So sellers, you really want to get it done, you really want to make a deal out there, okay? That's my seller advice right there. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat, sellers. Let's get into some seller advice. Make a deal if you need to sell. Make it happen right now because you don't know what the future holds. And as much as I might be able to shed some good light on the future, even I don't know what's going to happen exactly. And if you don't want to chance that and you really can't wait months to sell your property, well, then you need to make a deal. You need to make that happen now. And I would just do that by, giving out the best deal in your area. What's happening in your area? Are you the best priced home? You should be. And, even if you're a little bit nicer than your neighbor that might be selling that has the same house, look, the deal's going to be what sells right now. And also on the flip side of that, if you're a buyer, you got to be looking for that seller that needs to sell. There's a lot of sellers out there right now that are not interested in dropping their price. And they may just remove their properties off the market. They may not lower their price too much more. They're going to be a little bit more stubborn. They don't have to sell. So find the seller that has to sell. That's my advice to a buyer right now. Find that seller that has to sell. And if you're falling in love with a property and the seller doesn't want to budge on the property, well, you got two choices. You can let them sit and see if they change their mind, because in this market, this is the rare market where you could actually say, you know what, maybe I'll circle back and see if they'll work with me later. Or you can say sayonara and just don't get emotionally attached to a property. It's hard to do, I know. Move on to find that other property that maybe you can get such a deal on that you can make it like the property that you love. Maybe you find a same square footage, same layout type of property right in the same neighborhood, and kaboom, you can get thousands of dollars off of the property and then put that back into the property to make it look like the property that you really want. Now, if low rates and a brand new home are your speed, if that's what you're looking for is a brand new home and you really want a low rate, the builders are making deals right now. No doubt about it, especially in certain areas, the builders are really bringing the deals home. So if you're looking for a great interest rate, the builders are dealing, so make sure you bring your agent with you on the first time you go there. You got to get a negotiation going with these builders, and that's how you're going to make it happen. You can do that on the resale market as well. You can get lower rates on the resale market as well, but the builders are offering some incentives right now if you like a brand new home. So that's something you need to know. All right, now what's coming on the market? It's not going crazy. We were well above 1,000 properties on the 7-day average coming on the market for a while there. We were going 11, 12, 1,300 properties on the 7-day average. Now we're below 1,000. We're remaining below 1,000. This one, when I pulled this one, was at 963. The last several that I've pulled were in the 900s. So we're not getting as much inventory as I've said. The big thing here is going to be price decreases. What are the price cuts? Who's cutting their price? That's who you should be looking for if you're a buyer. As I've said, if you want a deal, you just got to look for the seller who's looking to make a deal. And these price cuts that sellers are making tell you all you need to know. They want to sell. And there's 1,120 of them on this 7-day average. Every 7 days, there's been well over 1,000 price cuts. So it's, a amount of price cuts, really. So out of the 10,600 properties, you want to find those 1,000 properties that are cutting their price and giving you a deal. That's your job as a buyer right now. I am seeing that people are withdrawing their properties. That's what I've been saying about the sellers. Those are the ones that either you love the property and you'll give them whatever they're asking for, or you just let them go. You just let them go, and if they're going to pull their property off the market like 266 people did in the last 7 days, they have withdrawn their property. Let them do it. Say sayonara. That's not your win. Go find a win somewhere else if you're a buyer, all right? And if you're a seller, again, you can do that. You can get off the market. You do not have to sell right now. You don't have to sell. You don't have to sell. That's the way it is. And that's the wonderful part about our market, is that we do not have a ton of desperation. There are sellers who would like to sell and they are motivated. They have, life changes, things change, and they need to sell. But you're not talking about people in mass by any stretch going into foreclosure or short sales or the big distress things that would cause real big harm in our market. So overall, there is stability underneath it all, and that stability does begin with those sellers that don't have to sell. All right, let's look at luxury inventory all by itself. Luxury inventory has been remaining pretty steady. How much inventory is on the luxury market? We got 1,240 properties that are $1 million plus. Now, $1 million plus is where luxury starts. These days, we're talking that luxury is maybe a little bit higher price point than $1 million. Although I will say that, affording $1 million home is still a luxury for a lot of people. So in Las Vegas, luxury very much used to be $1 million plus, and now it's probably headed closer to $2 million that you're talking luxury. 1,240 properties. It's remaining stable. You're not seeing a ton of luxury properties coming on the market. But one thing I absolutely have to point out for you luxury home sellers is the same thing I've been saying. I look here at what's under contract for luxury homes, and you have 184, 184 out of 1,240 that are still on the market. You need to be, if you need to sell, one of those 184 luxury homes off the market. So how do you do that? Well, you're going to need to make a deal. You're going to need to show buyers right now that you want to sell your property. And look, maybe in the luxury market, we're getting back to where it does take a little bit longer to sell some of these luxury homes. Certainly, the higher the price, the less that you have buyers out there for them. You might be looking at a longer wait, especially the more specific your home is, the more customized your home is. So just keep that in mind. And then, price right, price to sell. Even in the luxury market, it works, all right? As you can see, I am not talking Chicken Little here because the sky is not falling, but it's not easy to sell your home at the prices we were getting in the past. So if you really need to sell, again, you're going to need to make a deal. If you want to buy and you want to get a deal, well, hopefully some of those sellers are listening to me right now. Now, I hope this video helped you find your way and navigate the Las Vegas real estate market. It has its complications, but it's really not that hard at the same time. And guess what? Now you know how. If you're looking for somebody to help you every step of the way, you know how. I'm right here in front of you. My information is below. Please contact me anytime. And I thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you on the next video, and have a great week ahead.